Hello everybody, Storm in a Teacup, Tegan here, I hope you're all well. Gosh, it has been so long since I've sat in front of a camera. Uni has been kicking my butt. I've been busy. So today I just wanted to check in, have a bit of a chat about the books that I've been reading. It's not going to be a traditional wrap-up per se. It's not going to be like August wrap-up. It's going to be books I have somehow managed to read while still doing all of my study and assignments wrap-up. That kind of works, right? So the first book that I read that I was super excited for, well, does it class as a book? It's still a book. It's a script book. I am, of course, talking about Harry Potter and the Cursed Child. Oh my gosh. Now, I know a lot of people are split on whether or not they liked it or they didn't, but I loved it. I really enjoyed this. I was very emotional. It was very exciting to have a look inside the world of Harry Potter once again and see where those characters have gotten to. Hermione was awesome. I loved who she was and where she was and what she was doing. It was really exciting. I loved the kids. I loved Albus and Scorpius. I thought they were brilliant. They were a great duo and they complemented each other beautifully, and I really enjoyed reading this story. I wish I lived in London so I could see the stage play. However, I am so happy to have had this so I could at least know what happens, and totally cool the thing with Bellatrix. If you've read it, you know what I'm talking about. The second book that I've read, I literally finished reading at about 1 o'clock this morning. I could not put it down. And oh my gosh, did this book make me ugly cry. I am talking big, fat, sobbing mess. It is called The Memory Book and it is by Lara Avery. This book, it is heartbreakingly beautiful. This book is about a young girl by the name of Sammy who is in her final year of high school and is on the honor roll. She's on her way to becoming the valedictorian. She's about to go to nationals for this big debate that she's been preparing for her whole high school career, and she gets diagnosed with a very rare disease by the name of NPC. And basically this disease is slowly stealing her memories, so she's writing in this book to remind herself of who she is, of where she has come from, and of what she hopes for the future. Now this book is so cleverly written because as Sammy's condition gets worse, one of the things I noticed first was that it was her grammar and her spelling, and it was those little things that started to change that showed you that even though she was writing "I'm okay today," she wasn't quite okay, and it was just a subtle little change in the language used in the book, which shows how brilliant this author is. I love it when it's the language that lets you know what's happening underneath the story. It was amazing. It was beautiful. I laughed. I cried. So many feels. It was beautifully written. The characters were incredible. I fell in love with Sammy and she broke my heart completely, and this book had me. It grabbed me and just pulled me in, and I could not put this book down. Now the next book I read was The Girl on the Train. It's looking slightly battered and not in the best condition as it's been in and out of my uni bag while I've been traveling on the bus, and it's gotten a little bent and out of shape, but this book was incredible. I really enjoyed the way it was told. For those of you that haven't read it, this basic story is about this woman, Rachel, who travels to work, if you've read it you know why I'm doing this, on the train every day, and goes past not only the house of her ex-husband where he now lives with the woman he cheated on her with, but also neighbours that moved in shortly after she moved. And she creates this life for these neighbours that she sees on the train every single day, and then one day she sees a newspaper and one of those neighbours has gone missing. Now the story is told from 3 different women: Rachel, who is the girl on the train, Anna, who is the woman that Rachel's ex-husband cheated on her to be with, and the third is Megan, who is the woman that goes missing. This book kept me guessing, and yet when it revealed what actually happened, I was like, oh my gosh, how didn't I see that? It was brilliantly told from the 3 different perspectives in a way that you could tie together the whole story, even though it was jumping back and forths. I really enjoyed it, and I thought it was brilliant. The second book I read was an ebook by the name of Nice Day for a White Wedding. It's by A.L. Michael, and it is the second book in the Camden Square series. For those of you that have watched my videos before, you will know that I adore A.L. Michael's books. Goodbye Ruby Tuesday was the first book in this series, and I loved it. I couldn't put it down. I read it in one sitting, and this book was just the same. So this second book followed the story of Chelsea, who was one of the main characters in the first book as well. And the thing I love about this series so far is that it's about this wonderful group of girls that, even though they came from a bad neighborhood and they didn't have the best start in life, they worked hard and they got to where they are, and Chelsea really was the epitome of that. She worked her butt off to get into an incredible school, to get an incredible job, to get an incredible boyfriend, and she did it all herself. She didn't get any help, and she's an incredibly strong woman, and I love reading books that have these strong women with incredible qualities, and I love A.L. Michael's writing style. She pulls you into every story, and it's lighthearted and it's lovely, and I'm a chick flick. And Rory apparently wants to read something. And I was once again asked to be a part of the blog tour, which I always love doing, and I got to interview Chelsea, the main character of the book. You right? Okay. And I'll put a link below to my blog so that you can check out that interview if you'd like. Now this book, firstly, was a complete bargain. I picked it up while it was on sale at the bookshop at my uni. It is called Sway, and it is by Cat Spears. Now, what caught my attention with this book was actually the little line here. It says, boy meets girl, boy charms girl for somebody else. And that caught my attention. I was like, okay, that sounds interesting. So I read the blurb on the inside, and it was one of those blurbs that I read and I was like, okay, this book will either be brilliant or it won't really be my cup of tea. So I picked it up anyway because it was on sale, so I could give it a read. And oh my gosh, this book was brilliant. The author's use of language alone was outstanding. It was one of those books, again, that literally like grabbed me and said, you're not putting me down, you need to read me. Now this book is told from the point of view of Sway, who is his high school's go-to guy. He's the guy that, you know, gets the alcohol for the party. He's the guy that gets the fake IDs. He's the guy that helps you. He's the guy that gets you what you need. And at first I wasn't sure if I liked Sway or if I liked his point of view. But as I got to learn more about him, I understood him, I really enjoyed his story. It's a really, really good novel, and Oh, Rory! Oh, do you know what just happened? She just happened. And I've completely lost my train of thought. This book, it kind of reminded me of a grittier version of 10 Things I Hate About You. Except there's no sister. There's a brother though. Anyway, I really loved this book. I thought it was brilliant. It was, the language used and the actual style of writing itself was outstanding too. And I would highly recommend, if you like your YA a little bit different, to check out this book. I just wanted to give a quick little shout out to one of my favourite Etsy shops, which is RoryTheFoxHandmade. Now I'm going to link them down in the description below. Now I'm mentioning them because what does every book lover need? The perfect bookmark, which RoryTheFoxHandmade has, and very kindly sent to me. It is a Ravenclaw bookmark, and it is absolutely gorgeous. Anyway, that's all I've got for you guys today. I hope you're well. Say hi in the comments, let me know what you've been reading, and I'll see you guys soon. I mean, I'll try and make a video again soon. Hopefully, my next video won't involve the camera falling over constantly because of my cat. Oh, and to Rachel, thank you for the tripod. As you can see, it's worked wonders, except when Rory jumps off and knocks my phone over. Bye!